start with the news about Hiroshi. How big of a loss is that to have him out?
Yeah, I think obviously really disappointing, especially with only a couple games to go. So it's obviously a really big game, and to have someone like Hiroshi out is disappointing. But now we've got the depth in the side, and we have to move on and focus on the match.
How does that change your final third, particularly in a game where you're already a goal down?
Yeah, we change, I guess, a little bit the style because of what Hiroshi brings to the squad. But it won't change the way that we play. We are true to the football that we believe in. We've stuck with that all year, and it's worked with us and helped us get to this point. So we believe in the way that we play, and we're going there to get the win.
The squad was pretty banged up after the game last week. What have you seen on the training track this week?
A lot of positivity. I think we're obviously disappointed to be down in the tie, but we have full confidence going into this next game. We know that, especially second half, we could have turned, especially that game around, and the goals that we conceded was one, I guess, amazing goal from outside the box, and one that definitely we can affect and we can change with our positioning and with our setup in defence. So, we're working on that this week, and it's a do or die game. These are the games you want to play in your career, and the ones that you remember. So we've got the chance to do something special here.
Central Coast is nearing a sellout. What sort of a venue is that to play at?
It's probably a little bit similar to Cooper's. It's probably the closest one in terms of being, a football-sized stadium and quite unique. So, I've played at Gosford before when it's been a packed house, so it's going to be, I guess, a little bit of a hostile environment, but nothing different to what they would have faced here at Cooper's. So it's, like I said, we want to play in these games where it's a big crowd, and it's only going to give us a good atmosphere, and we have to use that energy to feed off, even if it's negative towards us.
Millsy earlier in the week said that he thinks you guys perform better when you've got your backs to the wall. Is that something you agree with?
Yeah, I think that's something that historically this club has done, and we've always been better in those positions. But at the same time, we know what we have to do. We know what we have to focus on, and it's about us, and it's about the way that we play. And we have to, yes, pay attention to them and the strengths that they have. But if we do our roles correctly and we get everything right, then we'll win the game.
He also said that with the way the Mariners changed with Farrell coming on against Nesta on the right, that maybe they'd look at switching him to the left. Have you flirted at all this week of training on the right-hand side when you're doing shape and stuff?
No, look, we know the way that we want to play. We may make changes, we may not. But at the end of the day, Central Coast can make that, whether it's a tactical change or whether it was because McGarry is sick. Nesta has shown time and time again this year, doesn't matter who he comes up against, he's going to give him a nightmare. So, Nesta's full of confidence as well, and I expect him to have a big impact in this game, whether it's from a starting role or whether it's from the bench.
Just on the Mariners, obviously they got that cushion, but do you still expect them to come at you like they did in the first half last week?
Yeah, I expect them to come out strong, especially at home in front of their fans. I think that's the way that they play, and I don't think they're going to change that. But at the same time, it's one goal. It's a one-goal deficit, and we're very confident in the way that we play, the attack that we have, and we know that we can hurt them. We showed, especially in the second half against them last week, that we created lots of chances and could have been back in the tie. So, it is what it is. I think they're going to come out really fast, and we have to be ready for that, ready for their press. But like I said, it's all about us and the way that we play.
So do you spend more time on the second half in the game review than the first half?
No, we do analysis on both halves and make sure we get right what we got wrong in the first half. But definitely it's about using the positivity of the second half that we played and the way that we attacked, that we were more aggressive, and using that and just making sure we get that side right.
Does it make sense to plump the experience of a Blackwood, or do you turn to youth as did happen in the middle part of the season?
Yeah, look, I think we found the blend all year with that, and I don't think it necessarily matters whether we go with the experience or whether we go with the youth. I think both have provided fantastic outlets for us this season. George has been a great player. He's had a bit of a hiccup with his injury that kept him out for 3 to 4 months, and then all the young players that have played have been really good. So we've worked this week on it, and I think we may make changes, but it's more than likely that we'll keep it the same.
You touched last week on how hungry you are to sort of end this semi-final. Who do you got? It would be 3 in a row this year. I think for the club it would be 9 out of 10. Is that the memories of those games sort of on your mind that as a bit of extra motivation?
Yeah, look, I think it always feeds as motivation, but at the same time, it is a success as well. We want to make that extra step, but it just shows how far the club has come, especially with the philosophy of bringing through the youth and being able to maintain some sort of success as well. Of course, at the end of the day, you want to make the final, you want to win trophies, but to have that consistent quality and reaching the semi-finals is a good thing. But we have aspirations, like we said, to do more, and we want to make the final. And I think I haven't had more belief in a side than the one we have now. So we have a lot of confidence coming into this game, and like I said, if we get it the way that we want to play right, we'll win the game.
You mentioned the team consistency there. Has it also been your most consistent year personally?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've gone from strength to strength over the last 4 or 5 years. I found real consistency in my game and taken it from strength to strength, and I would say, yeah, this is definitely my best individual season.
I was asked too, it's been a bit documented about the groin, but how hard has it been? I guess, have you been completing every training every week, or have you had to nurse yourself? Or are you just sick of talking about it?
I've completed every session. I have nursed it at times, and just depends as to which sessions I put more into. So obviously when it comes to the tactical and the main physical sessions of the training, I put more into it. Yeah, it has been difficult to manage it, and it is at a spot where it'll enjoy a rest. But I've got plenty left in the tank to put through in this next game and hopefully a final.
What's post-season look like, surgery, or will it just be rest to fix it?
It's something to address with the physios and with the doctor when that time comes. But for now, it's in a good way, managing it well, and yeah, it's just get through these games and then see what we do after.